Megan Walker, and welcome to Healthcare Online. Our very special guest is Dr. Lisa Burke, the founder and principal of Endeavour Psychology. Hi, Lisa, how are you?
Hello, Megan. So lovely to be with you today.
Thank you so much for joining me. I'd like to kick off by letting our fabulous audience know a bit about you, who you help, who you serve, and then let's sort of head that conversation into how you've been delivering those services and how you plan on delivering them. So over to you.
Absolutely. So I'm a clinical psychologist. I am also a thanatologist, which is a word I usually have to stop and exology, scientific study of dying, grief, and loss. And my particular focus in my career over the last 30 years is grief. That's my area. For lots of people in my clinical practice, but in the last couple of years, I've been branching out in grief, looking to support professionals who are feeling challenged in terms of their confidence level might be. So I'm moving into the course of front line.
Amazing. And so what kind of courses do you think that you'll be pulling together, Lisa?
So I have started with a mini course in my work. So a couple of lead magnets have come together, formed into a mini course. I haven't worked into a signature course or anything like that at this point in time. Still getting to know the course creation space, even though it's been a couple of years. What a journey. Working into the space of what do the professionals out there on the front line who are supporting people with grief, what are their pain points? What do they struggle with the most? And what I've got it down to is a few different C words, not rude words, I promise. A few different C words. They're definitely struggling with confidence. It's almost like even if they have had some training or grounding in grief, when they're actually getting into that space, there's a highly emotional person in front of them. There's some really difficult grief and loss experiences being described. That knowledge that they're holding seems to zoom out of their head and they're left in a really self-questioning space, which is very uncomfortable for a professional to be saying, oh, am I making this worse? Am I doing it right? I don't really know what I'm doing here. So definitely confidence is one thing that my courses are building onto. Also the perception of competence too. So that self-questioning around, am I doing it right? I don't actually quite know what I'm doing. So, and then the third C that I work with people on is around congruence. So this idea of, yes, you're a professional in this engagement with someone who is grieving, but you are also someone who is human. So how can you be both things at once? And that material is actually really striking a chord with people is how can I actually still be a professional and maintain my professional perspectives, but engage with this person human to human in their pain state?
So this is a really big area for health professionals.
Yeah.
And I'm just wondering, is the gap because there's not a lot of original training in this space or it's not talked about? Tell us why we're sort of faced with this gap around grief, not knowing what to say, not knowing what to do, and being so worried about it.
Yeah, this is exactly what's happening out there. Myself, I have 5 university degrees, 3 of them in psychology, and yet I didn't study grief at all. And yet here I am in my career, and this is my area. So it's just this huge gap. I can speak from my own experience as a trainee. Out there in the world, the key statistics that we hold on to here at Grief Action is that 90% of professionals will say grief is important. I see it in my work. It needs to be an area of competence and comfort and confidence for me. But actually, only 13% of professionals will say they feel confident to manage this. So we've got this 90% saying, I know that grief is important. Only 13% of healthcare and allied health professionals say they feel confident to do this work. That gap is enormous. So it is a gap in training. It is a gap in confidence as well. We just haven't had enough training to build the knowledge and comprehension through to applying that knowledge and then through to being confident about what you're doing.
Yeah.
Gaps all over the place, Megan.
Absolutely. And so the risks then of someone, let's say it could be a physio, could be
Mm, mm,
any type of professional, couldn't it? Not just a psychologist, could be
yeah,
someone podiatrist. If they aren't handling the grief of that client or patient in an effective way, what are some of
mm.
the risks that can take place?
The biggest risk, I think, for the person who is grieving is that they walk away from a professional exchange feeling unseen or even unsupported. So there is a risk here that they withdraw back into themselves and think, gosh, my stuff's so sad, bad, awful that not even a professional can support me or acknowledge me, which is a terrible human experience, isn't it? To
Yeah.
have feel that way. But what we've actually got is a well-meaning professional who gave it their best shot. So we've ended up with two people in a human exchange feeling pretty average about each other, which is not what it could be like.
Wow, I
Yeah.
absolutely love your topic. It's got such huge scope and potential, and there's so many people whose lives can be improved by the work that you're doing. And
Yeah.
so the lessons that you've learned on the journey of taking this amazing knowledge that you've delivered in person in clinic and now putting that into the online space, what are
Mm.
some of the strategies that you've already been, delivering, and what have been some of the results so far?
It's been such an interesting journey because I actually am not only a clinical psychologist and in practice, but I've also been up until last year an academic. So I have a teaching degree. I've been teaching at universities for a long time and teaching healthcare professionals. So I thought it would be reasonably easy, famous last words, to go out and just create some online courses and put my stuff out to the world to help grieving people and help professionals. But
Mm.
actually, what's ended up happening is I realized that when I was an educator, I had a whole team of people around me. I had ed designers, I had technology people, I had marketers doing all of that. All I actually did was teach. So, what I've had to do is restructure my whole approach to this, that actually I will need to be all of those things, or I will need to have the people around me performing the support roles for that. So I've sort of had to restructure over the last couple of years my entire approach to this because I was only thinking about the actual end point, which was the course and the teaching. So it's been okay, stop. I need to pivot right back to the start where I need to restructure the approach that I'm using here and get good people around me. So I guess that would be one of my key tips is get good people around you or be willing to have the time, the investment, the energy to upskill yourself in things like educational design and marketing and accountancy and web design and the many, many other hats that you have to wear as a course creator. It's
Yeah.
a real learning curve. Yeah.
So what would you say, and I get this all the time to, people who, they're very experienced, they're very knowledgeable. I'm going to pull together the course, and once I've got the course, it's going to sell,
Yeah.
and I'm going to make money while I sleep. And what do you say to that?
I say that goal will come to fruition if you put the right building blocks into place.
Yes.
But it's not 6 months. I see other course creation mentors out there in the marketplace and they're saying, get your course up and running and make your passive income in 6 months. I don't think that's even feasible, to be
No.
honest. I think you need to invest in those building blocks,
Yeah.
which means working with a trusted person like yourself who has been in this game a very long time and knows what this is about. You can do it, but it will probably take longer and there will probably be more U-turns before you start seeing some actual income. Yeah.
Yeah. Agreed. And it's very much like renovating a house, isn't it? Like you think,
Oh,
oh, that's going to be
yes.
easy. I'll just do that. Oh, hang on, wait a minute. There's this bit. Now there's this bit. Now there's,
Yes.
and it's all possible. But
Yes.
how long does it take to build a practice? Well, it's not
Absolutely.
that dissimilar to, okay, here's a new product. Got to
Yes.
find the market, got to build the market, got to, yeah,
Yes. I was
I
thinking
know.
about this not long ago. I was thinking about, I've not, never worked in the chefing industry. I'm a home cook at best. But I was thinking, what is it like for a chef who creates a new menu item and then puts that on the menu and puts it out to the market? If people buy it, you've got something great. And if they don't, you try again. and
Start
you work
again.
out what didn't work and you put a new meal together and hope that people enjoy that one. But I guess it's, I'm guessing about my instincts about putting a menu item together. But I guess it's the same that at some point you need to stop planning and thinking and you've got to actually execute. You've got to get a product up
Yeah.
and put it out to market, and
Yep.
then you'll start to U-turn and
Yes.
realize you've made a mistake there, or you could have done this differently. You've got to get something out to market. So I guess that's the mindset that I would highlight for people. I do endorse in my personal and professional life the good enough model,
Yes.
that your product will not be perfect, but it will certainly be good enough. So,
Yeah.
don't sweat over the smallest of things. Make your choice today about whatever it is, whether you want a blue logo or a pink logo. Choose your logo and move on, because
Yeah.
otherwise, I've found there are so many steps involved here that you will get unstuck very
Yes.
quickly if you are
Yeah.
sweating on decisions, because all of them are important. So
Yes.
if you spend a month on something that you had planned to spend a day on, then you're a month behind. So keep moving.
Moving.
Accept that it will be good enough. Your logo looks lovely. Let's keep going. Yeah.
Yes. So, such good advice. And so many of those things don't matter as well.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
the perfectionism is a real challenge in this field. Like, I've got to have my hair done and my makeup done and a perfect outfit and
Mm,
get the video studio and my voice has to sound. No, none of that is necessary. It just has to be
yeah.
neat and tidy because the person wants you. They're not wanting a
Yes.
newsreader. They want
Yes.
the warmth and the
Yep.
vulnerability and the natural. And you're so right about putting something in the market because
Yeah.
the biggest success factor is feedback from the audience,
Yes.
like the success driver, I should say. And
Mm,
that's what unlocks what do people want? How do
mm,
they want it? What will they buy? What will serve them? And you won't know that until you put something out and ask the question. It's and
absolutely.
be brave to
Yes.
go, okay, I'm going to get that feedback and be brave to go, now I'm going to make those changes and I'm going to go again. And
Mm,
so what does success look like? Well, it
mm,
is that's that feedback loop of improvement, feedback, improvement.
yeah.
Uh, Not working in this space, well, that's pretty simple. It's like stop the feedback and
Mm,
stop the improvement,
yeah.
and there's
Yeah.
your ticket if you want to go that
That's
way.
good. There's certainly perfectionism in our industries, there's no doubt about it. But also, there is a passion that fuels a lot of this,
Yes.
isn't there? So, I'm passionate too, and I invest a lot developing my mini course. But unless I get it out there, I don't know whether, I mean, things change in the industry too. So, what
Yes.
people wanted from me when I was doing market research 18 months ago has already shifted. So let go of that perfectionism too, that I've got to get this course perfect because it'll be here for 55 years. It might be a short-term product for you, and that's okay. Keep
Yeah.
it moving and keep with your market because their needs are changing based on societal needs. So,
So
so
true.
try not to think about your products as, I must invest all my passion into this one product, because they're all dynamic.
Yes. Yeah, it's not one and done.
Mm, absolutely. Absolutely.
Unlike having one child.
Yeah.
Um,
You said it,
what's
Megan, not me.
what are you excited about that you're working on next?
So now that I have had a couple of big things going on in the last month, I've had a podcast launch, which is amazing. So
Yeah.
again, a lot of effort, a lot of acceptance of that's good enough. Let's get that out and see how the world reacts to that. I've also had a webinar, which had hundreds of people. I was so excited for that. So we've had that, and I'm now moving into the process of warming up all of my leads for a new product that's coming in the next couple of months. So working with the market that I knew so well 18 months ago when I was starting some of this mini course development and through to some lead magnets, etc. Some of that has already shifted. So I'm excitedly moving along with my market to see what's going on out there. What is it that people are currently feeling challenged by? And
Yeah.
great, I'm loving it. Let's go with the next round. Let's see where this takes us from here. So
That's so
just starting to
exciting.
sort of build that entire persona. Now that I've actually left my academic job, which is a big deal after 30 years, I'm
Yes.
now an independent educator running my own company. So I'm needing to sort of step into that space and build that that sort of reputation. It is the reality that you're doing multiple things at once as a course creator. You're wearing a
Yes.
lot of hats at once. And I have found it's best to, narrow into a couple. So at the
Yeah.
moment, my focus is further course development based on market feedback from my
Yes.
first round of courses and lead magnets, as well as continuing to build my profile.
Yeah, fantastic. Yes, exactly. And then once you've got those courses and you've got the feedback on them, then you can
Yeah,
lean more into then
yeah,
introducing yourself to new people and getting known, and then the whole
yeah,
system starts to really work more cyclical.
yeah.
That's more when it can be earning when you're sleeping,
Yeah, I
not
think
straight out the
so.
gate,
I think
which
so.
I
I'm not
love
sure
that.
about this earning when you're sleeping. I'm not sure
Yeah,
whether
no.
that might come to fruition, but certainly you can invest your passion by putting it out to the world and know that you're making a difference.
Yeah.
That's what really drives me. If people are learning one thing from me
Yes.
in a webinar or a mini course or a lead magnet, and then they go out there and support a grieving person differently, then I'm thrilled with that.
That's fantastic. I was going to ask you about your vision. You just nailed it beautifully. And so, wrapping up, we're going to put all of your contacts and links below where everyone's watching this or listening to this. So you can go and follow Lisa, have a look at what she's offering in this amazing space of grief education for clinicians and practitioners. And what would be your encouragement to your peers who are thinking about packaging up their wisdom into an online course?
Find the right people that fit your vision. Find the right people.
Mm,
I think this, for me at least, I couldn't have done this on my own. I did for the first little while, managing my academic job, my clinician job, thought I could manage all of that, but actually I was just stalling and stalling for a month or two at a time.
yeah.
Once you start identifying your people, for me, Megan, you're the person that really helped me pull all this together. The documents, the support videos, the courses you offer, the times we get together as a group or one-on-one, all of that helps you see that you will get to your vision. It just
Yeah.
requires this consistency of effort, but you must try to find your people. I tried another
Mm,
couple of sort of course creation mentors. They didn't quite work for me in culture or their approach. But
mhm.
I feel like you offer people a breadth of knowledge, and even some of those very practical tools that you offer. I felt like I was wedded for about a year to some of your checklists, and one of them was just so comprehensive, things I hadn't even thought about. Your contact in the insurance world helped me
Oh,
a great
yes.
deal. Jess Greenhat, she helped me so much. Things I hadn't given enough attention to. You've got the breadth of knowledge to work with people on all of the building blocks at once, right through
Oh,
from, your company set up and your insurance and all those things, right through to your systems underneath all of this shiny product. You can manage everything through to your marketing and everything. So for me, you're the right match, but you've got to find some people around you.
yeah.
I don't think you can do this on your own.
No, I totally agree with you. I had a couple of different coaches that I worked with, and then the one I'm with, I've had for 3 years. And
Yeah.
yeah, if I find if you go alone, there's too much second guessing and going around
Mm,
in circles, and then you just
yeah.
deprioritize it
Yes.
because it's in the early stages, it's not a guarantee.
Yeah.
So it's very easy to go, oh, I'll keep doing the work and work the way I was always working. It
Yes.
takes a lot of courage and sacrifice to
Yep.
go, well, I'm going to reduce my income a little bit, or I'm going to reduce my free time
Yes.
to spend on something that has no
Yes.
guarantee.
Yeah.
But you're already on that journey and you're already sensing, you're getting the wins, you're getting the
Mm,
endorsements. And
mm.
so I hope that you can see it all starting to pay off, and that trajectory will only continue. So
Yeah.
you're in a really exciting place to have people just love what you're doing and find
Yeah.
you and work
Yes.
with you, and you be their person. You're their
Yeah.
who.
It's a privilege to work in the field of grief and loss. It is a privilege to be
Yeah,
invited into people's worlds when they're in such significant pain.
yeah,
But so is this work. It's a privilege
yeah,
to then support others to do the work as well. So
yeah.
it's a great day for me when I get to come.
Up there, we're just having a little internet problem. But Lisa, thank you so much for your time. I know you've got to dash to an appointment. So grateful for the work that you're doing. It's so important. We really appreciate you. And please, everyone, have a look at Lisa's social media links below and her website
Yeah, yeah.
and follow along with the wonderful work that she's doing. Thanks so much, Lisa. We better let you go. And we just love talking to you and love working with you. And thanks for the great work you do for everyone.
Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful day.